everybody, it's Damien. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. This community here on YouTube has been very good to me, and I wanted to thank you for that. And I also wanted to share with you the things that are going on my end, almost like a personal message, even though I don't really talk about myself that much on this channel. I wanted to make sure that the information you find here is about the message, not about the person. Because when you deal with time travelers and time travel, you get consumed by the individual and not by the message. You want to know more about, trying to find holes in the theory of the time traveler and not in the message that the time traveler is trying to relay. So it's important to understand here on this channel is one of the things we teach here is time travel. And the way this channel was built is, and I've been saying it all along, and those who have been here for a while will know, and I'm talking specifically to you here, is that I built this channel in stealth and invisibility. So if you are here now, you are here because of some other reason. You have found me on your own organic journey, your own quest. You are here because you are meant to be here. And when you talk about things like time travel, it tends to become very, very popular very quickly. And when, everybody wants to, time traveler, it's so interesting to people. But here on this tiny little channel, you all here on this world line and this timeline have allowed me to share these concepts and these ideas with you for the past 3 years without distraction or popularity, which moves us into many different directions. And that takes us away from our focus without any real hindrance or fear or any negative energy towards me. And I want you to know that I appreciate that very, very much. And I think we did that and we're able to do that because we were able to do it quietly. So now that the world is changing rapidly, it's a good way to put it, and that we were able to introduce to this world line the world's first time travel game. And if you are here, yes, that is right, this was first source for the first game that you can play in real life. Perhaps maybe one day you will notice that there are companies, there are governments, there are individuals, creators of their own game of life, and that they will be participants in promoting these type of systems to others so that way they can build tribes and communities. And this is what the world's first time travel game has laid foundation to, has built a structure for, a playing field, if you will. So the world's first time travel game is the aggregated field itself, built in time. So I hope that you enjoy seeing other people create their own games of life. I hope that you enjoy some of these games will be incredibly popular. And I will share with you a personal aside, is that ever since we introduced this on 8/8 of 2019, personally, my world has completely changed. To give you an example, since we introduced the world's first time travel game on 8/8 of 2019, there have been many changes in my life to the point where just last week we shot the first scene for a time travel movie that I've been fortunate enough to be the creator of the storyline. And I'm able to share these ideas through a new format, a new media format. And this is a new journey that I'm on, is now to share this in a whole other arena. I say that, I use these words specifically because there is this, perhaps a delusion at this point, but sometimes delusions become reality, right? This is one of the tests of this particular channel of time travel to show others in the future. If these systems become popular, where these games start introducing themselves into our reality, people will want to come back here onto this channel and look at how we did it and want to understand how this was even possible. And again, I say it over and over again. It's done through a process called time travel. I know that these concepts are difficult to understand now on this world line, on this timeline, and it's simply because it's an artifact of the culture of your environment in which you live within. So it's difficult to see beyond certain systems of control. Clearly, you can't see those because there's no mechanism to give you that ability, so to speak. In other words, someone has put filters over you. So you see the world through different lenses, and it becomes more difficult to pierce through that to see what reality is underneath. All right? And this is part of what this system of elemental hypertech teaches you. It teaches you how to get in contact with that. Which brings us to the shooting of the first scene of the movie, the time travel movie. I'd like to give you guys just a quick concept of what I'm discussing here, what I'm sharing with you here, something concrete. The time traveler is the world's greatest holodeck champion. There has been no better champion than this particular time traveler. He wasn't born a time traveler, but what happened is that the prize, the world prize for the holodeck champion in this particular year, which is where he is from, was a ticket to travel in time anywhere he wanted to go. His choice. No restrictions. The more freedom you have in the future, the less restrictions you have in the future, the more prominent you are in society. You become the mentors, you become the teachers, you become the officials, you become the holodeck system is a mechanism to find through competition the greatest person for the job, so to speak, because holodeck can be used for anything, for war, for renaissance, for specifics. You can compete in an environment called the holodeck for any industry. So eventually, because corporations are doing this, governments are doing this, recruitment happens through holodeck simulations. When you do these things, you become mentors and teachers in communities and society because it shows to the world, open source, that you have you have paid your dues in a way that is honorable, with integrity, with honesty. So the world where the time traveler comes from is very different than the world in which you find here. So this is one of the secrets to how stealth and invisibility was built specifically on this channel, because I speak in ways that are difficult for people here on this world line to even understand. Even though I'm speaking in English. Even though I'm trying to communicate this to you, because it's a different harmony. I'm speaking to parts of you on different levels every time. The words, language is incredibly important. In time travel, you'll find out there's things we can program our reality through our language, through our words, through symbols. We can change the molecular structure of metal based off programming it with different, symbols and letters and words and speaking. It's more flexible for our environment, right? It's dynamic, not static. And this is another aspect that will become more important in the future, which is what we're seeing now. We're seeing the separation of the extremes, the right versus left, the red versus blue, okay? The global versus the patriot, right? You have all these extremes being pulled apart right now. And this is where the time travel game pierces through the middle of that. This is the elemental hypertech system. So in the future, if these games become popular, they'll find the holodeck teachings, the elemental hypertech, these things become important because it's how you organize it. It is how you play the game in a way where it's all open source. You become the controller of those games. And that's how you win. That's how you find victory. You find victory through aim, through intention, through action. Not through theory, but through performance. How? Health and wealth. And the four elements, earth, air, water, and fire, built within the body, built within time, past, the mind. Okay? Future, the gut. And the present, the heart. So the Holodeck champion, he wins. He gets the time travel ticket. He decides to go back to his own world line, to change places with his younger self. So that way, since he's retired, he can send his younger self to the future to live with fame and fortune and everything that person would ever possibly want, because that person eventually has the potential to end up becoming that Holodeck champion. So give that younger self all of those riches, all of that wealth, all of that fame, whatever comes with that championship. Let them have that, while the time traveler goes back to the time when he was young and lives his life over again, this time with family. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on this journey with me. And I hope that you enjoy playing your own time travel game, your game of life. The future. The world's most popular gaming sport, Holodeck, where you are the gamer in a simulation environment. Competition, war, and renaissance reign supreme, and the players and directors become great role models and mentors to society and culture. Governments and corporations recruit and finance great warriors, scholars, inventors, many others for their own agendas and missions. The players learn and adapt the skills and talents of Holodeck to then work and perform various duties for the real world. They are the heroes and villains of the future. The Holodeck World Competition Prize? A ticket to travel back in time to any year by choice of the champion.